Skiers, well, the Winter Olympics looking pretty good at the moment. Great conditions there if on the cold side. More snow to come in the Alps if that's the way you're heading for your winter holiday. So too into Scandinavia. In fact, Europe rather splits north and south at the moment. The very best of the weather to be found the further south and west that you are. The eastern Mediterranean just turning a wee bit more unsettled with an area of low pressure there. And you'll see that it does stay very unsettled across the north. Now, over the past couple of days, we've seen this sequence or something very similar to it. Spells of wind and rain moving up from the Atlantic across us. These fronts stretching back out into the Atlantic just at the moment. And here, the first signs of Sunday's weather brewing up just off the coast of the USA and Canada. Let's come a little bit further back in towards the UK, and you'll see that if it's been pretty gloomy and dull and a bit rainy with you, well, you haven't suffered alone, because there has been extensive cloud and rain across the British Isles today. Some really quite murky conditions along the south coast of both England, Wales and the Channel Islands. At least I think those are improving. But there will be a spell of wet weather this afternoon, moving into Northern Ireland, Western Scotland, down into the area of Wales as well. And other areas will see bits and pieces. Some drier interludes. It's not all doom and gloom. And if you do venture out, at least it is on the mild side. I draw your attention to the strength of the wind, because that is as nothing compared to what is going to happen tonight, as we see severe gales with some very strong gusts indeed moving not only into Scotland but also into many other western areas here. You see that those winds just easing a touch as you move further south, but some very strong gusts indeed, so do take care if you're on the move. That will lead to the start of the weekend as being very showery, very blustery. These winds in Scotland easing for a time, but we will see more gales moving in across Ireland, parts of Wales, the north of England too, as yet another area of low pressure tracks across those central areas. Rain persisting for a time in southern Scotland, the north of England and Northern Ireland too. Elsewhere, it's going to be one of those days. Sunshine and blustery showers, but again with the winds in the southwest on the mild side. As we move on towards Sunday, we've seen that area of cloud already over on the eastern side of the states, and there are those fronts knocking at the door of the British Isles. So make the most of the dry start, because it is sure not to last. Let's just have a quick resume of all. That's quite a lot to take on board, I know. As we move off into next week, well, it starts off mild and wet yet again in the south, but a wind change in there as we move on towards the middle of the week will herald the change to colder weather, certainly across the British Isles. No nighttime frosts over the weekend, but there will be in the start of next week. Before that, things looking very unsettled across the south, more wind and more rain.